Welcome back, viewers, to Careers Bistro. My name is Wetumweni Shikage, and I will be leading you throughout this amazing show where we'll get to see some of the profiles that are profiled today in the Careers Hub publication. Now, if you have not seen it yet, you should be grabbing your copy of the Namibian Sun, the Republican, and the Algemeine Zeitung. The insert of Careers Hub will be right in there waiting for you to grab and to see some of your favorites in the corporate world. Well, today in studio, we are joined by the Managing Director of BCX Namibia, who is soon retiring. This is his last day in office, and we'll get to chat to him just a little bit on this couch right here with me. We'll also get some career motivation from Fabianus, all the way from NBL, and he will tell us about his journey, where he started and how he came straight out of high school and approached the company for employment. And don't forget, we also have a quick trip around the company profile, as well as some news where we get to catch up on the Career VX that took place last year. Please stay tuned for the following interview. Welcome back, viewers, and maybe this is the moment that you've just been waiting for. Well, in studio today, we are joined by the MD of BCX Namibia, that is Mr. Ferdi Graupe, and he is soon retiring, by the way. This is his last week in office, but we'll get to know a little bit about him and about his career, where he has spent 40 years in the IT industry. Good afternoon, how are you doing?
Thank you very much, Vito, and I'm happy to be here today.
Thank you so much for joining us. I mean, I was looking forward to this interview because, I mean, who does not want to know about IT from a person who has been with IT for over 40 years, that is correct?
That's correct, yes.
Yes. So let's just start off a little bit soft on this interview, where we would just like to get to know some tips and tricks that you have as a managing director for this company that you've been at.
Yes, I think 40 years is a long time, of which 30 years is as a managing director. And yeah, it was a tough time, and actually trying to lead an organization like BCX from the outset, because there were a lot of mergers and acquisitions during that time. However, as an MD, I worked on basically 4 principles. And I think one of them is to have a sort of a positive mindset and a wealth mindset. Yes. And that creates your moods and feelings in an organization. So with that, and it's like a spiral. Even if there were dips and downturns, whether it was economic or solution-wise, we still, with a proper mindset, actually we were always able to actually overcome these. Secondly, we know in the IT industry you do get a lot of competition. At one stage there were over 400 companies competing. Wow. So initially, as a managing director, I had sleepless nights about competition, until I realized that it is not about the competition. It's not for somebody else to lose, for us to win. Yeah. It's rather to actually compete. And most people compete against yourself and making your company better. And once you think about that, then you have a creative mind. It's not about worrying about losing. Yes. Then I think what's very important, it's about gratitude in an organization, in a company, whether it's in a personal life or as an MD of a company. you have to be grateful for your customers, your employees, and in general how actually things evolve and being successful. Without having gratitude, I think you're getting into a spiral of in comfort zones, and that might pull you down, and so it's a downward spiral end of the day.
All right. Speaking about comfort zones and being grateful for, you know, the different achievements that you have as a company, what are some of the greatest accomplishments that you've seen and that you can be proud of today?
Yes, I think one of the things that stands out for me is in 40 years we've been a profitable organization, but one of the things that we focused on is don't take money from anybody without adding the necessary value. So don't charge for something and not adding value, even more value than what the clients or pay. And the same goes for I would say for employees. If in terms of their salary, they shouldn't take a salary if they don't add the value to the organization.
All right.
And in that aspect, I think another point is that in all these years, with all the mergers and acquisitions, we never had to retrench a single person in the organization.
Oh, wow.
So, and that makes me proud, because there were most probably, we had to reskill and sort of give people different opportunities within the organization, but we successfully did that.
But also speaking about some of the greatest things about your career and your successes, we learned that you've started BCX in your garage. Now tell us a little bit about that. Okay,
yes, in fact we started with a two-man operation in 1981 in the garage, and actually offering services for multinational companies. The initial 5 years we didn't sell a single product, so only in 1986 we started selling mainframes. Okay. And that was sort of the big computers which took up a whole data center. And so the company evolved in moving into client server environments, networks. I can still imagine how we actually did the first local area network cabling project, and then it moved into the world like we know it these days, from a PC environment to and today we're sitting with cloud computing, big data.
Wow.
So yes, it was a good learning curve, and I was fortunate enough to always be technically involved as well as on the business side, from accounting wise, doing the payrolls and everything. So I had a good insight in the company.
What would you say are important things for IT companies and IT specialists to really dive into today?
I think the most important thing there is actually developing individuals and making sure that they have careers, and training and skilling of information technology is key in terms from whether we are in sort of infrastructure implementations or software development. The lack of skills is a known factor, and I think we tried extremely hard over these years to actually get the necessary skills.
Great stuff. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. But to conclude off this interview, we want to get to know a little bit about your plans that you have for your retirement. Now we hear that this is your last week, and you want to get to know just the tip of the iceberg of what you'll be getting up to, what are you excited for, and how are you going to spend this time?
Yes, surely retirement is not for me to sit back and do nothing. I'm a technologist at heart, so certainly I'm going to look at things like renewable energy or sustainable energy. It's a topic that always interested me, but I didn't really get time to focus on that. Then I'm a keen golfer. Hopefully I will get some time in future to play more golf again.
Okay.
And then one of my hobbies is walking. So in the past I've actually did the French Camino, which is about just over 800 or close to 800 kilometers.
Wow.
And then also the Portuguese Camino. And doing that, and maybe that's one thing that I can actually encourage other people to consider, because it's an affordable trip that you can do, and actually doing that walk, and it gives you a lot of time to think about yourself.
Yeah.
And also how you can actually and get involved with a lot of people during that walk, and get experience from their side. It's something you can't even imagine how well you are after such a walk, and with new ideas, with new inspirations. It's unbelievable.
Oh, this is amazing. This is beautiful to listen to. I think besides focusing on your work, staying grounded and in your purpose, it's important for us to also focus on our well-being. Take a walk, play some golf, spend a few hours for yourself and just have fun while at it. But viewers, we've come to the end of this interview. Unless Mr. Graupe has some last words for our youth, any career motivation that you have to any aspiring youth that are watching with us today.
Yes, well, what I would actually say is whatever you do, do it with passion. Without passion, I don't think you'll have fun. And the more passion you actually show, the more people you will attract and inspire to be part of your ideas and aspirations.
Yes, definitely. The more passion you show, the more people you attract. I mean, I'm learning a lot on this great couch, but it's time for us to love and leave you viewers who will stay tuned for the career motivation coming right up.
My name is Fabiano. I work for Namibia Breweries. I am a process controller in water analysis. My daily tasks are I test water every day, the incoming, the one that we use every day, and the one that we send to our consumers. And what I do, adding to my daily tasks, helping where it is needed, and also adding to my knowledge where I need to add. My encouragement to the young or to the youth is, if you want to study, you need to put your heart to it, you need to be dedicated, you need to be obedient, and you need to focus. You need to put your whole heart to what you need to do for you to achieve what you want. You don't need to listen to discouragements or please wait for others to make it before you can make it. I think it's the only way that you can make it in life.
Now, after having been motivated, after seeing the amazing company profile for this week in the Careers Hub publication, let's take a look at some news that we have lined up for you. Well, this week we'll take a look at the Career VX highlights that we have seen last year. And this year we'll also have a Career VX, so stay tuned for that in August. But the Career VX is a virtual expo here at Namibia Media Holdings, where we get to just check in with a few of the profiles doing different things in their amazing careers. But please stay tuned for one of the interviews we've seen last year.
Hi everybody and welcome back to Careers. I'm Jeanette Diergaard and with me is Kaya Amutenia. Kaya, she is a graphic designer. So Kaya, please tell us more about yourself. And okay, let's start at the beginning. Why did you decide to become a graphic designer?
Okay, I was always interested in motion graphics actually.
Yeah.
And I was actually a big fan of the drum. So I actually wanted always to work for the drum.
Okay.
Yes.
The magazine.
Yes, the magazine.
Very awesome. And was this always the field that you wanted to venture into when you were in grade 12 or grade 11?
No.
Okay.
Like, I actually wanted to be a nurse. It's like a family thing. Like like half of my family.
Nurses.
Yes, yeah.
And what was your parents? What was their reaction when you decided to become a graphic designer?
I actually started I first started doing BA and then I left it. Then I told my dad like, no, I gonna go for graphic design now. My dad was confused. Was like, what's that? He didn't know what it is. So then I had to explain to him what it is, and he was like, no, it's fine. As long as it makes you happy, you can go ahead. Yeah.
So there wasn't any big pressure like, no, you can't do this. It's not a traditional thing we do.
No.
Okay. Where did you study to become a graphic designer?
At the College of the Arts.
Okay.
Yes.
And what do you need to become a graphic designer after school?
You don't actually need the degree, but you do need the qualification, obviously. But the thing that you need is your portfolio, because when you go and look for a job, they're actually going to go through your portfolio and see how creative you are with with what you do. Yes.
Okay, but when you're in grade 12, what's the point scale that you need, or is it not that much focus on your marks in grade 12?
I feel like with other professionals, you need at least 26 points.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And how was your time at College of the Arts?
Oh, it was amazing.
Was it amazing?
It was amazing.
How many years were you there?
For 3 years.
For 3 years, okay. And are you still in contact with all your other friends
I am
there?
always.
Awesome, okay. But was it difficult to get into the industry after you graduated?
Not really. Like if you know people, like you have to decide on what kind of graphics you actually want to do. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so before you worked at NMH, was there any other place that you studied at or worked at?
Oh, worked at? No, actually NMH is my first job.
It's your first job. Awesome. So what was the requirements when you got here? Did they say you need experience, or would they just looked at your portfolio?
Okay, I actually started here as an intern.
Okay.
So yes, I came here looking for internship. And then I guess I did impress them. That's why they hired me. Yeah.
And how long are you now at Namibia Media Holdings?
I'm here for 4 years. Gonna be 4 years in October now.
For 4 years.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And you've
been
still
amazing years.
it.
Yes.
Okay. And where do you draw your design inspiration from?
Like most of my design inspiration comes from, I usually check on Pinterest, and I also follow other graphic designers in motion graphics. People would, yeah. Okay,
that's interesting. So you started as a graphic designer, now you're moving into motion graphics.
Yes.
Okay, is
I
that
actually
the future for
the reason why I actually decided to become a graphic designer.
Okay.
I had a friend who does motion graphics.
Yes.
That's he's the one who inspired me to be a graphic designer, because I actually enjoyed what he used to do.
What he used to do.
Yes.
And so do you want to become an animator and join the film industry?
Oh, yes.
That would be fun. And we'll just see your name there. Kaya designed this animation. Kaya, can you also explain how the industry is like working as a graphic designer in the industry? What do you do on a day-to-day basis?
Okay, as a graphic designer on a daily basis is you actually if you have clients that you design for, you do their work, send the work to them, then they have to approve. Some of the clients are very difficult to work with. Like you have to make changes like maybe even 20 times, and the person is still not happy with what you have done. That's why you must always send at least 3 proofs to them, 3 samples, so that they can choose from one of them. But mostly they always go for the dull one, like the one that you think is the good one, and then they never go for that one.
Okay, that's interesting. But does designing become routine when you are working in the industry?
Yeah.
Okay, but how do you keep your style of design, and what is your style of design?
You need to decide either you want to do like there is magazine, or you want to do logos. You need to decide. You need to choose. You need to decide on your own. Yeah.
And what's the favorite, or what is your favorite design projects that you like working on?
Logos.
Logos.
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. But with the logos, does the client give you also your, or makes you add your own element to it? Or
Yeah, like you have to at least send through 3 samples to them, and you must make sure also that like the logo works. Like if it has to be on black and white, and does it work for branding as well, and all those things. Yeah, you need to make sure of those things while you are designing it.
Now, with designing, was there a difficult experience or something, a mistake that you did back in the day that was like, whoa, how could I have done this?
Oh yes, a lot, even here in the beach.
Okay, and can you perhaps elaborate more on the, one experience?
I once, like on my own, by freelance job, I once designed something for someone, and then by accident, I actually sent the wrong artwork to the client. Which was actually a mess. Like, and then the person was like, no, but I did not ask for this. And I'm like, no, I'm sorry, that's not your work. Just ignore it. I'm going to send through yours now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you deal with the deadlines of the media industry? Because seeing that it's so fast-paced, how do you keep calm and not stress like everyone is stressing around you?
Stress, it's going to be part of your
day-to-day life.
Yes, it's going to be part of it.
And if you
and then sometimes they actually like clients that takes forever to approve their artwork, and that's what delays you.
And then you're stressing, it's a whole process, and if you were not doing design, would you have gone into nursing? Or is there anything else that you wanted to do?
Not nursing, I was actually wanted to do BA, business administration, not nursing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you decided against business administration.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that next year. I'm going to go back to school and then I'm going to do that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years in the industry? You said you want to go back to
school. I'm going to go back to school, but I'm still going to do designing on my side,
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Kaya. I hope you guys learned as much from graphic designing as I did. And if you want to become one, follow Kaya's footsteps. We will go into the next profession. Stay tuned.
And just like that, we've come to the end of Careers Bistro for today. We've gotten to see some of the profiles that were profiled in the Careers Hub publication. And now that we've seen the Career VX of last year, I hope you're as excited to join us for this year. But please stay tuned for Careers Bistro next time, same place.